Hi, my name is Suzanne Dempsey. I'm Climate Action Coordinator with Laois County Council. I'm here at the Amphitheatre, and the Laois Education Support Centre has a new biodiversity demonstration garden for teachers that visit the centre to find out more about biodiversity projects they can bring to their own schools.
We've created a garden trail that starts at the main doors here with an ornamentally designed bed, showing that bees, you don't just have to have wildflowers for bees, you can choose pollinator-friendly ornamental plants. And all of those resources are on the website and can be found on the signage, the beautiful signage that's all around. I suppose the real idea of this is that people can take elements of this away and they can replicate them at home in their own communities. And there are resources behind all of this that can help them do that, whether that's planting lists or how to make a bird box or where to put a bird bath. It's all here.
We're standing in the wildflower meadow, or the wild meadow as it would be called. It's very much straightforward and very easy to install. So from a limited budget, most people in most gardens, public and private, would have these facilities or these areas within their green spaces. It's about having this natural grass area, as I said, that can be easily managed and easily brought to fruition. It's so important that we make the next generation aware and the importance of biodiversity. And I think it's been lost maybe a little bit, and it's about revitalising that interest and revitalising the excitement, I suppose, particularly for children. And I suppose that was the importance. It's the importance to make people aware, because everyone knows we're in a crisis, that we have to develop these habitats to allow our pollinators, to allow all insects, butterflies, everything to thrive, but we have to give them that habitat in order to thrive.
This project, our Square Foot Garden project, is a project we started 3 years ago with special schools, where we wanted to show how vegetables and flowers could be sown to coexist and to be a resource for schools to show children how gardening is done. The beds are 4 by 4 feet, and the idea is to grow as many flowers and vegetables as you can in 16 square feet. I would want people to look at the design of these beds. They could be made by anybody, and indeed some teachers have done them in their own homes because it is so easy. But we have found over the years, and I found as a teacher over the years, if you interest a child around 8 years of age in gardening, that person will be a gardener for life. And that's really what we want to do, to inspire children to see the possibilities and to be aware of how easy it is to grow vegetables.
The part of the garden that I'm going to show you guys is the bog garden, which is behind me here. And I suppose it's really important towards biodiversity, because these wetland areas can be used by things like frogs for spawning in the spring. You have birds over the winter using it for washing themselves, drinking water, and then even in the summertime you'll have things like dragonflies and different types of insects that would live in a bog wetland area will use this area. It creates so much wildlife for children that they can see things like frogs growing or insects and different things that will be in that area. And I think for children to be able to learn about that through sight and interacting with it is so important. And for the world around us, biodiversity is important, and trying to get children from a young age interested in that is really important.
I'm in the Polytunnel here up in the Laois Education Support Centre. I'm here as a caretaker. There's a lot of work in it, but it's a labour of love. And you're looking after the little animals in the grass, the kind of grasshoppers, the frogs, all that. And they're there all the time, but none of the children knows anything about them. It's a pity, so it is. So that's the reason for all this. And thanks be to God I was a part of it, and long may it last.
This is our sensory garden. part of the overall garden, one of the components, and the parts of this garden, the plants and the different elements, address the 5 senses. Edible plants that taste really nice. We have strong smelling plants. The lavender at the moment is really beautiful. We have a sensory path where the idea is that children can take off their shoes and walk the path and feel the different textures underneath. There are grasses that the wind blows through and makes really soothing sounds. But really it's to inspire schools to look at very small spaces in their own settings and see how maybe they could take some of the elements of this garden and create a sensory experience, which is particularly useful for students with autism, schools who have ASD units, but a beautiful calming place for anybody.
Here at the Biodiversity Demonstration Garden, we have loads of different ideas for different biodiversity projects that can be introduced in really small areas around the school. And there will be workshops and opportunities online, so keep an eye out on the Laois Education Support Centre website, along with resources about what's happening here at the Laois Education Support Centre. We hope it continues to inspire people and is a resource for people near and far to learn about biodiversity.